Sister Spouses fans set off by video of Robyn Earthy Colored's brutality. Sister Spouses has shown many countenances of Robyn Brown. While she says she needs what is best for the family and buckled down to be gaslit by Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown, fans don't get it. In particular, fans are quickly set off by a video showing how carelessly savage Robyn can be. Robyn Brown made ready with misleading. Without a doubt, Sister Spouses star, Robyn Brown has done a few genuinely vile things as the years progressed. Seemingly, certain individuals accept she maintained that the plural marriage should come up short. Nonetheless, others think she was simply tricky and required more power as a head spouse. Despite the fact that she needs to be viewed as the modest, lovely wife Kody Brown depicts, there are an excessive number of communications to count that make fans recoil. Since she frequently covers reality or even through and through lies, fans as of now have a negative impression for them. Be that as it may, in the wake of seeing one video, they tracked down her activities. Inexcusable fans set off by video of Robyn Earthy Colored's mercilessness. On Reddit, Sister Spouses fans examine how Robyn Brown is horrible without a nice explanation. According to at first, a client, Robyn kicking Maddie's little canine, trigger admonition. Then, they make sense of subsequent to posting a TikTok from Psycho Shannon, this is past upsetting. I'm an enormous creature darling, and I was so disturbed seeing this. The family canine, Maddie's particularly I accept, came up to Robyn to welcome her and the children, and she kicked the canine away to the place where it seemed as though the canine went flying back in the air. There was no great explanation for her to do this, it was anything but an outsider's canine or a creature she didn't have any idea. This was a well-disposed canine. I realize there are individuals that disdain creatures and don't need them around their kids, yet this isn't a canine she doesn't have the foggiest idea or that is an alien to the family. The canine was not a danger. Moreover, the Redditor was totally maddened that Robyn Brown didn't tell her children the best way to answer a family canine. They say her children were not at serious risk or compromised. She might have driven it away or monitored the youngsters on the off chance that she was stressed for reasons unknown, or on the other hand assuming the children were frightened of creatures. However, rather she kicked the canine. I don't understand how anybody could legitimize this. Not a great explanation to utilize that much power or savagery. What number of different times has she done that or been unpleasant with creatures? Then, they added, just debilitated or malicious individuals misuse or hit creatures for not an obvious explanation. I don't have the foggiest idea why this was given up or not made. No joking matter over, perhaps tender loving care figured it would be disturbing or make them look awful, yet it was not okay. Something genuinely amiss with somebody that would do that and before your children to cause it to appear as though a creature is something startling and ought to be driven away. Assuming your children are terrified, show them everything is all good. Different clients call attention to how abhorrent the activity is, yet in addition, was Mary Earthy Colored's old canine getting kicked. Another client adds, this irritates me so awful. Try not to allow me to see Robyn out in the wild since I guarantee I'm kicking her. Well, better believe it, that was absolutely superfluous and detestable on Robyn's part. Never trust an individual who loathes canines. For what reason did Mary hold on? After Sister Spouses watchers laid out it was Mary Earthy Colored's canine, they were befuddled regarding the reason why she permitted Robyn Brown to treat it so inadequately. Somebody adds, Mary's older canine. Robyn can't handle creatures. In the event that I saw her kick my canine, she would lift herself up off the ground. Another reverberations, I could never let it go, all things considered. Anytime Robyn said anything, I'd promptly fall back to, essentially I'm not an oppressive piece of sh*t who kicked an old canine on public TV and play the clasp. Foo*k victimizers. Exactly. I have 2 canines, and assuming that anybody at any point dealt with my children like that, they would have an enormous issue. I figure they would hold their genitals. I don't play with anybody harming any creature mine or any other person's. I truly wish Mary would agree that something about this on her lives and so forth. She's plainly a creature sweetheart. I generally contemplated whether she saw it and what her response was. Robyn Brown would have a reason. While numerous Sister Spouses fans found it revolting that Robyn Brown would be so brutal to a guiltless creature, others figure she would have a reason. Another watcher adds, "I feel like assuming Robyn saw this clasp and was gotten some information about it. Her reason would be something like her children were creepy scared of canines when they were pretty much nothing, so she assumed she was safeguarding the children. Some reason like that to cause her undeniable maltreatment to appear to be substantial." Another person snarks, "That is not a protected conversation for her to have on camera. Her children are spooky scared of canines since she fears canines. She's the reason for their uneasiness and dread." One fan explains there is no decent reason, regardless of whether Robyn had really been a decent sister spouse, typical mother, and pleasant individual. I would in any case detest her guts along these lines. Brutality to creatures is an indication of psychopathy. I fail to really see the reason why they didn't boot her from the family at that moment. Kicking a cordial canine unwarranted is unadulterated fiendishness, and there is zero motivation to do it with the exception of the way that Robyn delighted in making the canine endure. I can't help thinking about what she's finished, behind the scenes, assuming she was grinning and adequately certain to do this on camera. Kody Brown from Sister Wives,
I want to believe
has
that
been
she
a
gets
polarizing figure among devotees of the hit tender loving care show for quite a long time. When seen as the strong and committed female authority of the family, Mary's conduct in ongoing seasons has left watchers progressively disappointed. From her obstinacy and absence of responsibility to her continuous show with the remainder of the family, fans have taken to virtual entertainment to vent their restlessness with what they portray as her deplorable mentality. A past filled with dissension. Mary's relationship with Kody and her sister spouses has been full of pressure for quite a long time. As the primary spouse, she was essential in the groundwork of the earthy-colored family's plural marriage. Notwithstanding her lawful separation from Kody in 2014, planned to permit him to legitimately wed Robyn and take on her youngsters, denoted a critical defining moment in their relationship. From that point forward, Mary has frequently wound up on the edges of the family, both sincerely and genuinely. Many fans identified with Mary at first, perceiving the close-to-home cost of losing her legitimate spouse status and watching Kody's consideration shift all the more vigorously toward Robyn. In any case, over the long haul, watchers started to become annoyed as Mary seemed unfit or reluctant to do whatever it may take to either work on her connections inside the family or continue on completely. Mary's casualty story. One of the main wellsprings of fan disappointment is what they consider to be Mary's inclination to play the person in question. All through different seasons, Mary has more than once communicated her misery with her situation in the family while doing essentially nothing to change her conditions. Her continuous cases of being prohibited and misjudged have worn ragged for some watchers, who feel that Mary is reluctant to get a sense of ownership with her part in the family's broken elements. On Reddit, a client remarked, "Mary invests such a lot of energy discussing how nobody figures out her, yet she never really tries to construct those connections back. It's dependably every other person's shortcoming." Furthermore, fans bring up that Mary's emphasis on remaining in the family notwithstanding her alienated relationship with Kody and different spouses feels disconnected. In late episodes, Kody has been vocal about having no heartfelt association with Mary and has even urged her to think about leaving. Regardless of this, Mary has stayed enduring, frequently expressing that she esteems her obligation to the family's plural marriage agreement. Decreasing association with sister spouses. Mary's associations with her kindred sister spouses have additionally endured, further estranging fans. Janelle and Christine, when seen as her nearest partners, have become progressively far off from her, referring to her grating character and absence of work to keep up with their bonds. In interviews, both Janelle and Christine have communicated dissatisfaction with Mary's way of behaving, with Christine in any event, conceding that she tries not to invest energy with her in view of her pessimism. Fans have seen that Mary frequently segregates herself, both genuinely and truly. Her choice to zero in on her overnight boarding house business, Lizzie's Legacy Hotel, has been one more wellspring of dispute. While watchers value her pioneering soul, they feel it has come to the detriment of her family connections. Scene deception. Mary's way of behaving has additionally drawn analysis for what fans see as lip service. For instance, during the notorious duping embarrassment, Meri looked for close-to-home association outside her marriage, which many saw as a treachery of the family's qualities. While Meri guaranteed that the relationship originated from sensations of dejection and disregard, fans felt her activities went against her emphasis on excess focused on the family structure. Moreover, Meri has frequently scrutinized others in the family for their choices, especially Christine's decision to leave the marriage. Fans rushed to bring up that Meri, as well, has battled with her relationship with Kody yet keeps on passing judgment on Christine for doing whatever it may take to focus on her own joy. Tone via online entertainment. Meri's action via online entertainment has additionally filled fans' disappointments. While she often posts inspirational statements and messages about self-improvement, watchers have reprimanded her for neglecting to try to do she says others should do. Her inscriptions about strength and self-esteem frequently feel separated from the conduct fans see on the show, driving some to blame her for being pretentious. Meri's Instagram is about strengthening, yet on the show, she's trapped in similar harmful examples. It's difficult to treat her in a serious way, one fan composed on Twitter. Calls for change. Fans have become progressively vocal about believing Meri should settle on a conclusive decision, either work to fix her connections inside the family or continue on completely. Many trust that her proceeded with presence in the family, regardless of her stressed connections, makes pointless show and forestalls both her and different individuals from the earthy-colored family from pushing ahead. Watchers have highlighted Christine to act as an illustration of how leaving what is happening can prompt self-improvement and satisfaction. Since leaving the family, Christine has embraced her freedom and begun another part, likely arousing a lot of reverence for fans. They contend that Meri could profit from following a comparable way, zeroing in on her own bliss as opposed to gripping to a relational peculiarity that no longer serves her. The isolated fanbase. While many fans are baffled with Meri, others keep on supporting her, perceiving the intricacy of her circumstance. Contend that Meri's unwaveringness to the family, regardless of her difficulties, is outstanding and mirrors her obligation to her confidence and values. Others identify with her sensations of dismissal and depression, recognizing that exploring plural marriage is intrinsically troublesome. In any case, even her allies concur that Meri needs to find proactive ways to address her misery. I feel for Meri, however eventually, she needs to assume a sense of ownership with her life. She can't continue to fault Kody and different spouses for everything, one Reddit client composed. End. Meri Earthy Colored's excursion on sister spouses keeps on starting extraordinary discussion among fans. While her battles with forlornness and dismissal are justifiable, her hesitance to make a significant move has tried the persistence of watchers. As the earthy-colored family develops and keeps on confronting difficulties, fans are anxious to see whether Meri will at last do whatever it takes to make a more joyful and really satisfying life for herself, or stay trapped in the pattern of misery that characterized her part in the family for such a long time. Until further notice, this has yet to be addressed. Will Meri at last track down the mental fortitude to embrace change, or will she keep on baffling fans with her apparent uncertainty? Just time, and future times of sister spouses, will tell.